Hey guys, what's up? It's Andy, and I'm fresh off doing a first run of the Chrono Cross remaster over on my Twitch channel, and I actually realized some info I thought would be very helpful to new players of the game, casually playing or otherwise. And that info is how the unique leveling works in the game. This info can be a bit dense, so bear with me as I try to break it down in the most digestible way that I think I could. So before we begin, I do want to establish some key definitions that we're going to need before going forward, so just try to remember these or come back to this point if you really need to. The first one we're going to talk about is star fight. A star fight will basically mean any boss fight, but you'll know that you've done a star fight whenever you see at the end screen where it says gained a growth level and it shows a big star there. The second one is key stats. When I say key stats, I'm basically going to be referring to all non-HP stats like strength, magic, etc. So one of the first things that you need to realize in Chrono Cross is it's not like other RPGs where you need to grind XP or that you even get levels. Neither of those exist. Instead, the way that you get increases, like leveling, is just your key stat ups get increases at these star fights. And these star fights are actually the only place you can actually get these stat ups. However, it is not guaranteed. The game rolls a weighted number to see if you get it. This dice is weighted by checking your current stat in question with what is stored as the value it wants you at for the stat. If you're below it, it increases your odds, and if you're above it, it decreases your odds. This is both to try to keep you within a reasonable range for the game. So with that in mind, the next thing that we need to explain is that the key stat ups you get at a boss fight or a star fight actually rolls on the star fight prior to it. So for example, let's say you just did this fight with Karsh, Salt, and Pepper. The game actually rolled your odds to see if you're going to get the key stat ups after this fight at the end of the Mama Komodo fight. So with that in mind, let's add one more aspect to this. There is an exception to getting the key stat ups only at star fights that like I just mentioned. You can actually get something called a mini star. This is done by doing a set, non-universal number of fights between two star fights. By non-universal, I mean that it changes based on what star fight number you're on. So for example, if we are doing a fight between the Mama Komodo and the Karsh, Salt, and Pepper fight, for example again, you'll always need to do 2 regular encounters here. So with that established as a basis, understand that just because you do 2 encounters here, you are not guaranteed to get the key stat up. It works exactly like a big star fight does with the exact same rolls. In fact, the mini star you get will always match the next big star you get. Remember in our example how I said in the Karsh, Salt, and Pepper fight, the stat ups that you get were actually rolled at the Mama Komodo fight? That's because the mini star before Karsh, Salt, and Pepper actually matches that roll. That's how the game knows and can tell you that you'll also get a stat up on the Karsh, Salt, and Pepper fight. Now that we know how these stat ups work, let's talk about some interesting aspects of the game with it to help you. The first one is, all obtainable characters start at base values at the start of the game, like how Surge here always has a 9 strength at the start of every game. All obtainable characters also roll for stat increases in the background at every star fight. This is how the game randomizes the stats of the characters you get in every playthrough. The cool thing about this is that it means you don't have to have characters in your party to have them being essentially leveled, and thank God because of how many characters you end up having. Once again though, there is a small exception to this. If a party member is in a star fight and is dead when it's over, that is the only way they will not roll for stat ups. Additionally, only characters in the battle you're in when you do the mini stars will even get a chance at the stat ups. That is the only benefit to having party members in certain battles. There is some more to this, so if you'd like to know more, just let me know. However, this should provide more than enough insight for those who are new and just curious about how the leveling works, opposed to other JRPGs.